Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate, where today we're gonna have another chill episode, where we're just gonna go through the realms, kill a couple false gods, see what we find. Next episode we're gonna be embarking on our next major project. This is gonna be on the coming Tuesday. We've got to start ascending the specializations, the new classes that were added in the 2.0 update. So there's 3 classes that were added: the mermaid, the antiquarian, and the mesmerist. And we basically just have to, we've got to ascend them all. This is the only somewhat, actually difficult thing in terms of achievements that were added in 2.0. There are other things that are just long to do and just really grindy, but in terms of things that are genuinely tough, this is the only really tough one, because you gotta go in when you're fighting all of the gods. You gotta go in with some very specific builds. Now we have builds that can fight all the gods. In fact, we built them using some help from the Steam, some guides people had put together on the Steam forums, like the Steam community pages for this game. And we will be using those as well, but because it's been so long since I've used them, it's gonna take me a while. In fact, I literally have notes, physical notes in a notebook, about which ones I can kill with this party we have right now, and which ones I'm gonna have to switch to our Universal Gate of the Gods party. And then, it's not just that, but I've got to remind myself how the Universal Gate of the Gods party even worked, which anointments I need for it, and just how the basic, combat loop worked for that party, like which creatures are doing what. That kind of thing, and which spells do they need to have equipped, that kind of thing. So we'll do that next episode, or at least we'll start on it next episode. For now, though, like I said, I just want to chill, and luckily we already have a good loot bonus, so we're just going to take that into this realm. Let me take a quick look at the Rune of Prophecies. Looking fine. So let's just go in. Let's just go in and see how this goes. I was going to check to see if maybe we had any nether stones that need to be destroyed, but we don't. And our enemies are fused with sirens, which means we are frequently going to be silenced, but we resist silence on our mimics. So, that is not a problem for us. However, we are also going to be occasionally confused in this realm, and in this case, confusion does actually pose a threat, because our mimics can occasionally cast, or not occasionally, every single time they act, they will cast, what's it called? Star Pact, an area of effect spell, which, if it backfires, is gonna wipe out our entire party. We've already killed the Divination Candle enemies, that's good. I mean, it won't kill our entire party, but it will do some annoying damage, and we might see that happen if our mimics are confused and then try to cast Star Pact. Hopefully we don't get to see it, but there's a good chance that it'll happen. It happened a couple of times last episode. Alright. Ooh! We're about to get a new skin. Hello. and a card, a duplicate card, as an extra bonus. Excavator skin for the Amphisbaena. Hello. That is a fantastic way to start the episode. Now that all of the cards are collected, skins are the only truly notable kind of loot that is still to be found, but skins are very, very rare to find. And honestly, I'm okay with that. There are times when I'm like, you know, maybe they should raise the rarity with which skins drop. But I'm okay with there being something that's so rare that when it does drop, it like just like that alone is the highlight for your whole session, you know? You know what I mean? Alright, got a netherstone. We've also got to destroy our low-level netherstones at some point, you know, free up some space. Not that I think we're in danger of, like, running out of space, but there is a bit of a clutter. There is a bit of a clutter issue in our, you know, netherstone storage facility. There's just too many of them. This is gonna be our 5th win against the Mirelings. We're gonna get the costume, and we're gonna get an achievement for it as well. There's the achievement. There we go. There we go. One of our mimics was confused and tried to cast fermented hops on his own teammates. Luckily, it didn't hurt us that badly. Now we do need to answer Riddle Dwarf questions correctly. Oh God, what is the? I think it's life, but let me confirm this. Siralim, ultimate, chocolate, paragon is, drumroll please. My guess was gonna be life, and indeed it's life. Indeed it is life. Perfect. We also have to solve the mini quest in this realm, because it is in fact the realm quest. So what we gotta do is we gotta go to these houses and basically act as a drug dealer, delivering them some powerful hallucinogens, which, you know, I highly doubt are legal, but it's what we gotta do. We got a job to do, and we're gonna do it. You know, we don't make any judgments. What people do in the privacy of their own homes is up to them. We've got an assassination to hand in. And I think we are probably just gonna go ahead and do that. No need to get into extra combat. So let's not worry about that. Let's just find the exit and head home, hand in the assassination, start another one, and then we'll see how that goes. All right. All right. Let's start a new project. We're assassination. We're still assassinating the last few god spawns. So let's find them. Where are they? I've overshot it. There they are. So we did Akara. There's only 3 more left. So Asia Burku, you're next. And let's take a look at our netherstones. Let me just make sure there aren't any high-level ones that I neglected. I think I got all of them. I'll get rid of the because there's a lot of these. I'll get rid of the low-level ones off screen in between episodes. So we'll just do it that way. Now we've got to take on Furness. .365 is pretty good. So let's take this into a random realm, which is the same realm that we were already just in. How lovely! That's that is in fact randomness for you sometimes. you just get clusters of the same thing, and it doesn't feel random, but again, the problem is that humans just don't have a good intuitive sense of what true randomness feels like. What we think is random is not, in fact, actually random, and when we try to describe things that we think are random, we're describing things that are sort of getting lots of duplicate cards today. So like when we describe things that we think are random, like if you were told to imagine what a random series of 20 coin flips would look like, we go for a more like spread out, like evenly spread out approach, where we think that like there won't ever be that many heads in a row, we won't ever put that many tails in a row, maybe 3, maybe 4, but in true randomness you do in fact get really long streaks and, you know, the same thing happening over and over again, because, you know, technically it is a possibility and it will happen every once in a while, and if your imagination precludes you from even thinking about it, then the things you will produce aren't in fact going to be random. They won't be purely deterministic either, but certainly it's not what true randomness would produce. So it's another little math lesson that nobody asked for, but I gave nonetheless. Have they? Hang on. Have they raised the probability for card drops, or are we just getting, like, freakishly lucky with those? Oh god, come on. Oh god, I hate these guys. I hate these guys so much. Ugh, hideous. At least we got another achievement for a master, and at least we took out Furness with no trouble. Like, why are there like trash mobs in the game that take longer to kill than the Nether boss? I mean, that like it just emphatically cannot be the intended gameplay experience. And I'm not even saying that you need to make the bosses stronger. I feel like if you have a strong build, then you just beat bosses easily, right? Like there shouldn't be a like a rare monster or some champion pack that takes longer to kill in Diablo 2 than Baal does, right? It would be on that level of absurd, right? These protected elites. Now it's true in Diablo, depending on your build, there are, like, if it's a cold immune monster and you don't have infinity, you don't have your, like, any way to break enemy cold resistance, it would take you longer to kill a cold immune pack than it would to kill Baal, because bosses in that game cannot have immunities. But in Diablo, you also always have the option to simply teleport past the enemies you're fighting. Other than bosses, of course, which, like, there's no... They are the end of the line, so you can't just teleport past them. Like, you can choose to, you know, just give up and not fight them. But since bosses don't have immunities, all you have to do is really just output enough damage and you'll kill them. But you can, you know, if you come across a bad enemy, you can just, like, on the way to fighting the boss, you can just nope on out of there. Anyway, let's kill this guy. Breath and Balance is Arimaki. Alright, we gotta collect some coins in this realm. Alright, boys. The fuck off, dude. Come on, man. Okay. I'm sorry, like, I don't know, man. It just... breaks my flow every time I run into protected elites. Just the fact that it forces you to take multiple extra turns at a time when you're ready to just move on and keep going through the realm. And no, you gotta stay. You gotta stay a whole 2 extra turns to take out this trash mob. Yeah, not a fan of that. Whatever. Let's keep moving. Keep on moving. What are you? This is gonna be our 17th victory against the Hemomancers. Okay, oh, that's a dumpling. I don't know if we needed to fight you, but you ran into us, so you have only yourself to blame for your tragic demise. Alright, let's go up, around, down, find this last coin. Alright, we gotta destroy that. That's 224 rarity. Ooh, and we gotta find some buried treasure as well. The game really should add an icon in the bottom left of the screen when you pick up a treasure map to let you know that there's treasure in the realm that you're in right now that you have not collected. Ooh, another duplicate card. Because it's really easy to forget, especially if you find the map early on in the realm and then it ends up being a long realm. Anyway, let's do a new realm. 365 again. I'm gonna take that into a random realm. Another nether portal with a lot of chests. Okay. A little sad that we opened all of those chests and didn't get anything special out of them, but you know what? It's fine. Oh, and now enemies have a chance to resist damage. At least this realm property is egalitarian in the sense that it applies to the bosses as well. But it's even more annoying in the sense that every single enemy has it. Every single enemy then has a chance to force you to take an extra turn. And time wasting, I think we can all agree that maybe you can build a game like a proper, deliberately made rage bait game out of the concept of time wasting, and then, you know, thoughtfully make a game that way. But having stuff in an otherwise normal game that just wastes your time, I think is a bit unnecessary and not really like the game would be better if the time wasting stuff was just like removed, like no questions asked, just taken out. You don't even need to find something to replace it with. Just get it out of there. Nobody wants it, nobody needs it. Anyway, let's keep on moving and see how we're doing. We just have to find a master in this realm who surely is gonna be showing up soon. Tremor Master can fuck off because tremors are annoying, but at least it was relatively painless, and now I think we can just leave. There's some more stuff to smash on the right, but I'm not walking all the way there. I'm just gonna say thanks but no thanks. And where's the exit? Where's the exit? Dude, where is the exit? Am I blind? I guess I am gonna have to go to the right. The exit is there. So is the candle, but we don't need any candle kills. Let's just peek. This is such a horribly spread out realm. I'm done with this. I'm done with this nonsense. We're just gonna move on to the next realm. .358 is gonna be good enough. Alright. What do we, again with the chance to resist damage? Man, come on. Man, come on. Man, come on. Okay. Okay. Let's just get going. Avoid unnecessary. Man, come on! This guy's in my way, dude. Get fucked. Get fucked, you piece of trash. What a stupid fight. Alright, dude, we just gotta get through and get some of these bookshelves. Ooh, there's another stone lying around on the ground. 542, but with only one trait. Health, a little bit of health in the stats. What is the trait though? Is that a good trait? After an enemy attacks, 2 random debuffs, alright. Actually, not a bad nether stone for the Universal Gate of the Gods party. Faraway Enclave is Lister. And that is all of the Riddle Dwarves that we need to mess around with. In this Rune of Prophecies. Alright. 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 Here's the rest of our stuff. $107. Man, fuck off. Oh, that's annoying that we ran into a protected elite in this garbage realm right at the very end. Just ruin our mood. So we got some stuff to do. Wasn't there a nether stone? Like rarity 200 something? 224. Are there any others? No, 224 is the only one, so let's quickly destroy that. 224. And let's move on. This is going to be our first fight against a Jotun. And like I said, I think we're just going to be focusing down Jotun and getting all of his anointments. Then we can never fight him ever again. after that. So fight him in a random realm. Get another couple Jotun anointments out of the way. Indirect damage immunity is fine because he doesn't take damage. Got some more buried treasure to find. That was annoying, but we got through it. The 7 debuffs is not worth it, so we'll make him always deal critical damage. Yeah, some of these changes made to the False God just make them unworkable. Like, 7 debuffs is just too much. It's just not worth taking, because effectively what 7 debuffs means is that you have a high chance of just losing your turn for no reason, right? It's just not good. Like, there's a high chance that all of your party will just lose their entire turns, and you'll be stun locked. And then the issue with especially something like getting snared is that you can just, yeah, you can be permanently stun locked depending on what else the god does or what other spells are cast. So we're not going to take the 7 debuffs because it's not, yeah, it's, the balancing on that is just not, it's not good. It should be reverted. It should honestly, even 3 debuffs, I think, was already pushing it a little bit, but 7 is definitely way too much. Where the fuck is this portal? Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? And again with the fucking chance to resist damage. Ugh. Hideous. 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 Don't care. But, I mean, I'll get it correct, but we don't care about real dwarves anymore for the remainder of this room. Man, where is this guy, dude? Hello? There you are. Alright. Let me do a greater dispel. Get rid of your nonsense trash. You can provoke. Excuse me? Oh, come on, dude. Macro, you can do the macro. Everybody just do the macro. Sounds like a dance. Everybody do the macro. What is the macro? Well, the macro is a dance where you ensnare your dance partner, and then they just never move, and then, you know, after a while they get bored and then they leave. That's the listen, I didn't say it was a good dance. I just I never made that promise. So yeah, you get what you pay for. I know you haven't paid anything, so whatever. I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit, so let's leave. That's what Jotun fights do to you. Things that last that long tend to make you feel a bit loopy by the end of it. Only, not even 6,000 reputation, and we're stuck at 2,399 Nature Guild rep. But it's okay. With our next victory against Jotun, we will at least go past 2,400. Where's the exit? My dude, where are you? Have we killed the master? Yes, we have. Where's the exit? There's the exit. So we gotta head home, set this bounty. take out Jotun again. And, you know, just keep on going. Alright, what do we got? What do we got here? Oh, I had 386 and I botched it. I saw it, but my fingers were moving a little bit too fast for my brain to catch up. But it's okay. We'll live. I feel like most of our loot bonus is coming from just being at a very high realm level and less from the specific bonus from realm instability. But, you know, it's fine. Alright, what do we got here? Have I donated? Well, now I have. Okay. Okay. Very spread out realm, which I don't like, because it does waste your time a little bit. Alright. We do have a mini quest as well in this realm. We gotta give these shells to the residents of these huts. And 2 of them were actually, I mean, they could have literally walked out and picked them up themselves, but I guess they're that lazy and entitled that they expect us to do even that small, trivial amount of work for them. There's one more that we gotta find. And there's the shell, and now and there's the hut. That mini quest was not required to actually beat this realm, because we are in a nether boss realm, so all we need to do in order to beat this realm is just take out this boss. The aspects of Meraxes... Excuse me? What? What? Hang on. Why? Were hang on. Were these guys always immune to indirect damage? Were these guys always immune to indirect damage? Because this is, frankly, pretty ridiculous. Oh my god. Just I don't know. Just defend. Just keep casting Clayman. This is dumb, dude. Why was this change made? Or was it always like this? Hang on, I'm gonna pull up the patch notes. I'm gonna pull up the patch notes. Hang on. I'm gonna pull it up on my browser. I feel like the fight didn't always used to be like this. Siralim Ultimate 2.0. Patch notes. Was it always like this? Aspects of mirror axis. Were they? Was it always like this? I don't know, man. Maybe am I just wrong? Maybe I'm just imagining this. Maybe I'm like gaslighting myself into. Wait, what? Man, I don't know. Do they have... always have agile? Are they... hang on. Took 0 damage from... Is it their high defense that's causing them to take no damage? Is that what's happening, or what's going on? I don't get it, dude. I'm struggling to understand this. I feel like the aspects of Miraxis didn't used to be like this. Hang on, let me just close the browser, because I don't need it open anymore. I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Maybe it was just always like that. Or maybe it was something to do with the Carnage fusion. I don't know. But yeah, something was definitely fishy with that fight. Yeah, I need to slow down because I don't want to miss the 417 that I just got. I'm just gonna go to it. Alright. Again with the... fuck off, dude, with the chance to resist damage. Just a bunch of trash, dude. Okay. Oh my god, stop it. What are we doing? We gotta do the 1 experiment mission, alright. And we gotta kill a bunch of death enemies, alright. And another mission, alright. We gotta collect some schematics. And there we go. Experiment mission to hand in, which we'll do. Raid mission to hand in, which we'll do. Alright. We do have to kill the master, and we would like to do the mini quest as well. Don't think that's the master though, so I will not fight you. Another annoyingly spread out realm. Alright. Ooh, oh! I didn't even realize that we were gonna get an extra, like a skin in that fight, because I was so preoccupied by something else. Evil Princess skin for the Crusader class. These are avatar creatures. Crusader is gonna be somewhere here. Evil Princess, hello. It's got a what appears to be a whip. Very evil looking indeed. I guess Crusaders are like centaur creatures, but then it's weird that there's one that just has like 2 legs. Why? Like, why does it, what happened to the rest of his legs? Is he like a double amputee, and he's considered disabled by Crusader standards, possibly, or maybe it's just like a humanoid cosplaying as a Crusader. Hard to say. All right. Oh God, come on. Out of my way. I don't want to get into combat in this round. Oh yeah, before I found the skin, I was gonna look something up. Go to the codex. Maybe game information, nether bosses. Aspect of Meraxes. What is your deal? Are immune to damage that doesn't come from attacks or spells. This trait persists even after this creature... Was it always like this? I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining some completely different boss fight, but in my mind, I thought the aspects of Meraxes were an easy fight for us. Maybe they're just not susceptible. You know what? It's possible that the last time I fought them, I had to switch to my other party to beat them. Because it does take a while to cycle through and fight all of the false gods, you know. So it's possible that I simply don't remember. What we'll do is we'll do a Keyforge. We'll do another raid. We don't need to do Keyforges. We still don't have enough to start our second nether synthesis. Yeah. They need to tone down the nether synthesis achievement because it's going to take way too long to get all of that done. And let's just start another experiment. Oh, I had like 360 and I botched it. I need to slow down, man. Come on. Come on. Let me just turn the light on because it's getting a bit dark. It's only like 4 p.m., but thanks to the time change and it being overcast, it's gonna get dark pretty early today. It's snowing as well, so that's another thing to deal with. Okay. I've got my boots for the snow, so I should be fine. But like, boots are just... It's not even that they're uncomfortable, it's just that they feel different compared to normal shoes. So I'm gonna have to get used to wearing boots again. Honestly, I would prefer it if we didn't have mimics, just because it's a bit because it's a bit quicker. I gotta get rid of that nether stone. It's 216. I'll try and remember that, but I'll probably forget. Oh no! Oh my god, this is annoying. Because of how much of your time they waste, because of the horrible like interactions. I thought that was going to be our master, but no, it was just a guy giving us some treasure. Okay, did not want to get into combat, but that's fine, that's okay. Mimic again. And a treasure golem has been summoned. Which I'll try and avoid. Ooh, there's our final treasure map. And it's gonna give us, well, 2 more lines after the death creatures are dealt with. In fact, we should just farm out death creatures in this realm. My god, too many mimics. Have we found the candle? We have not. There's our master. This is gonna be our eighth win against the Lucanians, so it is gonna give us an achievement. Let's wait for it to pop. There we go. Let's summon some death creatures. I don't know, like a random exotic. I think that's gonna be enough. Hopefully we'll encounter enough of them to get the rune of... Well, these guys are death creatures as well, so that'll help. Alright. Yeah, I think we're gonna be good. In fact, I think this might do it. Or maybe one more. This might do it. Alright, let's take a look. And now, sadly, the only thing uncompleted is going to be the raid missions, and I'm not going to wait like 10 realms just to get 2 more lines. We're going to start on the next Rune of Prophecies as soon as we head back home. Oh, we don't have lumber for this man, sadly. We'll see if we find some close by, close enough. We can maybe make the trip back, otherwise I think we're just gonna move on. That dude can find his own lumber. Alright, you're dead, son. And the lumber is a little bit too far out of the way, and I'm not interested in finding a treasure golem. Oh hey, that's our second achievement for the gladiator. Just gotta do 80 more rounds. God, excuse me. Fight a few more of these dudes that no longer are necessary, but nevertheless will kill them. Alright. Let's just head home. There's a nether stone that I needed to destroy. 216. Let's get that done. 216. Was there anything else? Yes, there was. We had to hand in our Rune of Prophecies and start a new one. So let me save. Turn in your rune. Dumpling is fine. One training mission is fine. One raid mission is fine. One Keyforge mission is fine. One Forge mission is fine. So this Rune of Prophecies has the potential to be a damn good one. Aeolian, however, not fine. Not fine at all. In fact, I'm gonna have to switch to the animator to take this guy out. Specialization. Morph nature, morph life, morph. So what morph spells do we have? Nature, life, sorcery. We start off as death, and if it's something else, then it's something else, right? So let's take out Aeolian. You gotta pick up the wood, because it's funny. And take out this dude. He's got a nature transformation. So we'll start off with a nice entangling roots. A nice double cast Clayman. A nice wormhole. No, let's do the nature transformation. Now we'll do one more Clayman. Now we'll bring, or we'll do Rabbit Dementia. And there we go. Switch back to the Gladiator. And now there's a few other things we've got to do. We've got to do a bit of gambling. So, slot machines, Siralim. And we got to make sure we have the correct projects running. So I'm pretty sure we have a raid mission and a training mission already running. Not sure if we have a forge mission running. We might. But then we're going to have to cancel something to start a Keyforge mission. So let's start out with Siralim because it's the longest. And hope that we don't get any extra turns. Okay, I think that should be it. Yep. Hey, look at that, we won something. Alright. That's fine. Alright, and let's see what we got going on here, where pilgrimage, assassination, we kind of need to have that. Raid and training, we need both of those. We've got to cancel the experiment and cancel the pilgrimage. We're so close to completing this pilgrimage. We'll let it finish, and then for the next one, we'll start a key forge instead of another pilgrimage mission. We'll start the forge mission right now, though. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. .358 is going to be a good bonus to take into the Arachnid Nest. Always fun. Oh, look at that. The weather effect for the Arachnid Nest. I think these are spiders crawling down. Dude, that is so awesome. That is amazing. Well, I mean, if you have arachnophobia, it's probably going to be a bad time, because I will admit it does make my skin crawl a little bit, but that was definitely the intended effect. That is so cool. But this definitely is. If it wasn't already, you know, all of the spider imagery in this realm, then with this weather effect, this realm is now truly the arachnophobe's worst nightmare. I love it though. I love spiders. I never. I was gonna say I never killed spiders, but I'm sure I've like accidentally killed them by like stepping on them on the ground and not realizing they were there. But I never would intentionally kill a spider, right? If they're in an inconvenient place, like on the, you know, kitchen counter and I need to use it, I will relocate them by sort of encouraging them to hop inside like a mug or like a plastic little like a case or some place where I can hold them and then relocate them to some other spot. I gotta say, this is really nice. This is even better than the well, it's hard to say, right? Because the top 3 weather effects in this game, well, I think number 3 on the list would be the Gambler's Hive effect, with the cards raining from the ceiling. Still a damn good one, but I think this definitely beats that. And the other one, obviously, is the torrential rain, as one of my viewers pointed out. I missed out on being able to use that as the episode title because I think there's a trait on that netherstone. I gotta check that. But yeah, the Tauren heads. I guess not even Tauren heads, because his entire gimmick is that he's a giant head. But like miniature Taurens raining from the sky. That's definitely number 1. This one, I think, is close to being number 1. I don't think you can beat the Tauren one. It's just too absurd and too out there, and it's just perfect for that guy, right? So I think it's gonna be closely fought. You know, number 1 spot. Closely fought battle for the number 1 spot, but I think Tauren takes it. This one is definitely outstanding. I love it. But like I said, if you do not like spiders, then you're probably going to want to either disable weather effects or just never come to the Arachnid Nest. And I guess that would entail that you just never do random realms, because if you do random realms, and if you have weather effects on, then there's a good chance at some point you'll come down here and be greeted by hundreds of eight-legged friends skittering across your screen. Alright. Start a new project. We'll do a keyforge. And we're gonna continue on 407 right off the bat. You'll love to see it. Right, what do we got to do here? We gotta make an offering. And let's see how we do. We probably have to do candle kills as well, right? Yeah, 18 of them. Is this a good realm for No, it's not, because of the chance to resist damage, so I'll do it in some other realm. That's the Dumpling Master. We also need 3 buried treasures. Oh god, of course we run into protected enemies. Of course that's gonna happen. Okay, that was easy. Oh man, come on, dude. Man, come on, dude. Okay. Man, come on. Yeah. Definitely not doing any candle farming in this abomination of a realm. I guess I'll do a little candle farming. What sort of creatures do I need to kill? A lot of chaos creatures and mostly just chaos creatures are the main ones. So let's just summon some, I don't know, cockatrices. Cockatrices. More cockatrices. Well, I guess that's gonna be all. Kill one more and then we'll summon, I don't know, some life creatures. Some random life creatures like, I don't know, Sanctus, I guess. And then we'll we'll get the rest of the candle kills in the next round. Yeah, it does slow the game down quite a bit when enemies have chance to resist damage. So, probably I shouldn't be doing the candle kills in this round, but I just want to get them out of the way. And that's the realm quest done. Okay. Let's get this rolling. Do we have a master? I think we had the Dumpling Master and he's probably already dead. Let's hit this. Do we need to find a treasure golem? We don't. We need a dumpling. And we do need to pick up this buried treasure. And now we're done with this realm. Okay. Champion creatures, as always, annoying as fuck. Another creature type that should be reworked or removed. But yeah, you just hope you don't run into that many of them. And if RNG is kind to you, then you will indeed not have to deal with too many of them. At least not all in one place. Alright. So how is our candle situation looking? Okay, we've only got 3 more things that we need to kill. Fuck off. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not fighting with that guy. He's just gonna block my path. How about no? How about no? Right, so Nether boss, Vexed. Should be pretty easy for us to take down. Three, 6, 7 is going to be a good bonus to take here. We got some upward moving weather effect. Interesting. Ooh, we got cats. What do these cats do? They give us treasure, I think. Yes. All right, that was fun. I'm a big fan of I'm a cat person myself, definitely. Dogs are cool too, but definitely identify more with the feline persuasion myself. All right, take out Vexed right quick, and just move on and keep going. We got to kill some more enemies. So how are we doing? A lot of life. We gotta kill some death creatures. And gotta kill some sorcery creatures. We gotta get rid of these protected enemies. Man, come on. This is gonna be our 8th win against these spell jugglers. It's gonna give us an achievement. You gotta love it. Alright. Alright. Pretty good. There's the candle. So we'll summon some death and some sorcery. Death, that's fine. And some random sorcery dudes. That's fine. Okay. Alright. Alright. And we're done with this realm. And where is the exit? It's right there. Let's just take a look here. Anything to do? Not really. So let's take on Jotun for the final realm in this episode. 3-7. I don't want to deal with extra traits. I'm gonna keep rolling. 451, even better bonus. And seemingly no issues either. Like no horrible properties. I'm just gonna quickly take out Xantai. What's your problem, dude? Immune to blighted. Okay, well, let's just do a quick Archangel, and then let's do a quick Wormhole. Man, what the fuck is going on, dude? I don't fucking get it, dude. Let's do some Clayman action. Do some more Clayman action. Do some Wormhole action. Yeah, enemies being blight immune is actually gonna be a bit of a problem. Right, so now we can buy a stone. Do any of them have traits? Well, if I leave, can I talk to you again? Wrath. And that's the only thing that has a trait. And listen, we've got 205 million brimstone. I think we can spend, like, a little bit for one stone with a trait. Speaking of stones with a trait, I think I also found another, like, yeah, this one. No head necessary. When this creature is dead, has a chance to attack. And then we picked up this one. No, we gotta destroy this one. That's 231. I've gotta try and remember that. And we picked up this one. Always has Berserk and Savage and deals more damage. It doesn't seem that great, but I mean, I had to buy it. I had to buy it. And now we gotta... I'm sure it won't be long before we make another million brimstone. Especially if we're getting thousands of brimstone from every interaction we have. Alright, let's go... Man, where is everybody? There you are. Gotta remember, Jotun is a special fight where you're never gonna do any damage to him. It's just about surviving long enough so you can freely give him anything defensive out of these false god runes. Because you were never going to do any damage to him to begin with. So for instance, we could just give him more defense, but we get more value out of having him lose less stats. And we don't really employ stat reduction in our build, so that's fine. Making him immune to indirect damage for most false god fights would be suicidal. Against Jotun, it's just free loot. And yet taking less damage. It's the best percentage gain, and it also doesn't really add anything to him. Now, starting him at the top of the timeline is too dangerous. However, a chance to avoid damage, since he's not going to be taking any damage to begin with, is also fine. Oh, another challenger, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And Lunatio can provoke in case that ever becomes an issue. Everybody's running their macro. Wait. Am I provoking with the Mimic instead of with Lunatio? I think I might have messed that up a little bit. Oh, because one of the Mimics took an extra turn. Right. Well, it didn't cost us, but I was wasting one of my Mimic's turns there. A bit of a blunder, a bit of a misplay. But we're gonna get away with it because our build is robust, and we didn't pick any, like, stupid options. He grows tired. We're gonna collect another one of his anointments. We're just gonna... We'll wait for the loot to fade away so that we can see these, but I'm just gonna pick whatever's on top. Heaping treasure gives us a duplicate card and 8,000 Nature Guild a reputation. Takes us to 2,407, which means all of the bonuses from the Nature Guild should be above 80%, and I think it caps out at 90%. So we're actually getting pretty close to just like straight up maxing out one of the guilds, and that's gonna be a huge, exciting milestone moment when it happens. We're actually not that far away from it. Who are you? The Unicorn Master has been wiped out. Alright. As you can see, Star Pact coming in really useful in this realm where there are lots of enemies immune to blight because of their because of the creatures that they're fused with. Alright. Boys, I think we're ready to end this episode. It's been a very decent episode. We found 2 skins. We, aside from that fight against Meraxus, which was really annoying, and honestly, the more I think about it, I think Meraxus has always been like that. It's just that for a long time I was fighting him with the Animator party, and the Animator is just like the Animator party we built. It's just completely like there's nothing in the game that can defeat that party. The only downside is it's a little bit slower than this party, which is why we are doing this grinding with the Fermented Hops party, but you know, our party does also struggle against Meraxus and certain other bosses, so next time we have to fight Meraxus, I'll remember. And then next time we fight Meraxus, it'll be a quicker fight. Now, do we have to kill a specific false god? We don't. We do not. So, as you can see, the bonuses for the Nature Guild, we have 80% dodge chance, 80% stat boost effects, but the key is the final one. 80% less indirect damage taken, and when we cap out at 90%, then we're gonna have to start grinding another one of these guilds. Which one would it be? Healing given and healing received might actually help with blight. I'll have to check. Minion damage, debuff potency, I don't think really makes sense for us. This makes even less sense for us. Spell stat modification is... Wait, hang on. Spell healing versus healing given, healing received. It's gonna be one of these two. What I'm gonna do is I'll go on the Discord and I'll ask, does this affect fermented hops? And if the answer is no, then I guess we'll pick this one anyway, because less attack and spell damage taken is still pretty good. So that's gonna be that. Alright, let's take a look. We had to destroy another stone of rarity 231. Get out of here. Alright, what else we gotta do? I guess let's just start wrapping up. What did we accomplish in this episode? Well, we got a couple of masters killed. It was a fun time. And we are still at 93% game completion. The but you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And what else? Let's take a look at some of the achievement progress that we made. So let's start with the character achievements. Right. So we completed another Rune of Prophecies that takes us to 376 runes done and 2,790 lines completed. And we're still... I don't think we found a single exotic portal in this realm, so our Stardust is still stalled at close but not quite 60,000. And as soon as it hits 60,000, we'll start our second Nether Synthesis mission. Yeah, this grind is way too long. It needs to be toned down. What else? Let's take a look at castle achievements. How are we doing on creature parts? We went up to 6.34. Wow, all that progress. Wow. We can grind that if it comes down to it, but we're getting little trickles of progress as we play the game normally. What else? Well, let's take a look at some of the realm achievements. How are we? We are at 44,286 resource nodes and roughly double that for destructible objects. And again, opening up lots of treasure chests as well. And we are almost at 80,000 for refreshing our, re-rolling our realm properties at the shrine. We're making little bits of progress on all kinds of things. And oh yeah, we found 2 skins this episode. There was an Amphis Bana skin called I think it was Excavator. I'm pretty sure it was Excavator. And then we found the Crusader skin, Evil Princess. A very cool looking one as well. But yeah, the 2 skins that we found were definitely the highlight of this episode. Like, even finding... Like, think of how many episodes we've played where we just found no skins at all. And to find 2 of them in one episode definitely feels really good. And there will come a time when we have to grind for skins, but I'm saving that because I feel like that getting into that would be a bit distracting when there's so many other things to do. And speaking of other things to do, next episode we are going to start on the next set of ascensions. And that is my promise to you. And with that, I think we're going to call it good. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope you'll join me next episode where we will start on those aforementioned ascensions. And until then, take care.